menu key, brings up the program menu. I can at that time select a work number. We decided to go with program number 31, input, and we're going to create a Mazatrol program. Guys, what I've done is I've started a new program, and it's asking me, this is what's called the common process line. Basically, it's asking me for some information about my material and about the way I'm going to program. I'm going to fill this material in. I'm going to select aluminum. It's asking me what type of material. I'm going to tell it aluminum. The OD maximum, I'm working with 1 inch material. So the maximum OD of my material is 1 inch. It's asking me for an ID. If I was to have tubular material, it would have an ID in it. This is solid stock, so the ID would be 0. There is no ID. Length of the material sticking out, right at 3 inches. We need 3 inches. I'm going to tell it 3 inches. An RPM maximum. We talked a little bit about this. You guys would know this as your G50 in our programming. This is during constant surface footage. This would be a maximum RPM that we would not go over. I'm going to set it at 2500 for now. It's asking me for a finish allowance in X and Z. I'm going to give it a 20 thousandths in X and a 2 thousandths in Z. Those are finish allowances. Material to be left on for a finish pass. And the next thing it's asking me is how much material is on the work face for a facing operation. And I'm going to tell it 15 thousandths. I've completed the common process line. You guys can watch this video several times and figure out each one of those as you're going through creating you a program. And we've got some exercises, some workbooks that'll help you with it also. The next thing it's asking me is, what do you want to do now? I've set up this common process line. I've told it what kind of material I'm working with. I've given it a little bit of how I want it to program in this common process line. Our next step is, guys, if you had this material down in a conventional lathe, what would you do first?
Face it.
I'd face it, absolutely. I've got an edge cycle with Mazak. That's our facing cycle. I'm going to select the edge, and I'm going to auto set my speeds and feeds. By telling the machine what type of aluminum I'm working with, it has the ability to give me some starting speeds and feeds. Very nice, very much like CAM. It has the machinist handbook built into it. It's asking me for a tool. I'm going to utilize the tool that just happens to be laying here on a workbench. That is a V&MG 432 style insert. We're going to utilize it because it's available. We'll mount it up here in just a little bit. I'm going to tell it that I'm going to put that in station number 1. So I'm going to tell it tool 1 is the tool that I'm going to use to rough and finish my facing operation. Guys, it needs very little information to write this program. It's asking for a start point in X. Well, I'm going to hit material at 1 inch. A start point in Z, I'm going to hit material at that 15 thousandths that I've told it is on the face of my part. I'm going to set it at 15 thousandths. Finish point in X, I'm going to face to center line, which is X0. Finish point in Z, I'm going to face to 0. I want to set my 0 at the finished face of my part. Roughness, I can select a surface finish using Mazak. On the roughness, these are different surface finishes, and it will calculate a speed and a feed for me to achieve that surface finish. I'm going to select a 5. You can go with these with 500 surface finish, 250, 125, 62, a 32 finish. A 32 finish, very achievable on a lathe. I have completed a program to face my part. We'll cut there for a moment.